Alright, what's up guys? We are trying something new. Well, two things new. One, I dropped my camera a little bit walking in here, and so my microphone kind of no longer has a mount because the mount broke. So, first off, my microphone's just kind of laying there, and hopefully it's facing the right way and picking up sound pretty good. Second thing is, I always complain about the lighting in my hunting room. So I fixed that. My wife does some photography stuff, so I went and stole one of her big ass light things and laid it on the floor here. I know a lot of the videos my face is kind of shaded because there's only one light in here. It's not that bright of a light, kind of sucks. And my big window that should let in natural light has a yellow tint to it because it's a single pane yellow window from like the 70s or 80s. So not the best lighting in here. So we're gonna try this out. Hopefully I'm not super blown out. And yeah, we're gonna just try a video real quick. So we're gonna do, this is on the Field Optics Research Tripod. This particular one is the FT6233A Pro Max. I don't expect you to remember that because I have to read it off. First thing I'm going to start off by saying is I haven't messed with a ton of high-end tripods. In fact, this is basically my first higher-end tripod. I've tried the Vanguards and the Vortexes, and honestly, I much prefer this tripod. And for the price point, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be jumping up anytime too soon to anything else. I just want to point out, like, I'm not comparing this to an outdoorsman or a really right stuff that cost, I don't even know, 5-6 times as much, because I've never used those. But for the price, I really do like this tripod. I think it's a great entry model tripod, and on top of that, for what you're into this, I think this thing really kicks the snot out of some of the, the Vanguards, Vortex tripods, stuff like that. I much prefer this tripod over what I've used, and the price is not that crazy much different. These guys are based out of Utah, and I, in fact, am working with them a little bit now in the fact that I have a discount code for anything off their website. So if you want to buy anything from them, if you've been thinking about it, try out the code AMPED, AMPED 10 for 10% off your order, off anything on the website. Anyways, we're gonna move on. I love this freaking tripod. First thing I'm gonna point out, this is you do buy the tripod and the head separate. This is their FPH 230 pan head. If you've ever seen a Surui VA5, I have no clue if that's how you actually pronounce it, but if you've ever seen their pan head, this one is very similar. The Surui has like a little bit of a spring-loaded feeling to it, where it'll try to return to center. This doesn't have that, but it does have multiple lock-in points. You can loosen this one here, flip your handle out further, so if you need to get it further back, I run it this way so it's closer to me. If I'm glassing with binoculars, I have it pointed out in front of me. If I'm glassing with a spotter, I have it pointed out or pointed back towards me. So it is, so far I really like this head. It is not technically an Arca Swiss head. So this comes with one of their own quick detach plates, and one thing about that, and it's probably hard to see, but there's a little blue button here, and that is a sliding lock. And then there's also normally another Allen head in here, and it actually allows you to, when you slide in your spotter, it'll actually stop it from sliding out the other end because it's supposed to be facing this way. I have it backwards, but you're supposed to slide your spotter in. That'll stop your spotter from ever falling out on the front of it. So, like, if you get in a hurry and try to slide it in, you don't have to worry about it falling off. You just push that blue button over, it catches here, you push the blue button over, it catches on the next one. I have pulled that Allen out. Reason being, one, like I said, I like to run this the opposite way of that. Just I don't want that extra length of this handle. Also, another thing, you can adjust the angle of this handle when you loosen this, not just flip it back or forth. You can adjust if you want it to sit off further to the left, right. Anyways, just figured I'd hit that. But I took that out, and I can put my camera in here on an Arca Swiss mount. It's not the best fit, and you have to actually, and this is going to be hard to show, but this actual adjustment knob that actually locks in on the quick detach plate, it'll actually allow you to pull back and rotate it without turning the actual knob. So I slide my camera in, well, I get it close, slide my camera in, and then I tighten it. And if I can't get quite enough rotation because my camera actually overhangs this and sits super low with the Arca plate, I actually just pull that out, twist it, and then tighten it another turn. So if you're not using Arca Swiss plates already and you just buy some of their plates, I think this head would be perfect for that. The only reason I run an Arca Swiss plate on my camera is because I use a Peak Designs capture clip on my hip belt on my backpack, and I don't want to switch plates all the time, so I just found a way for this to work. Yes, it's not perfect, it's not great, however I do think it works fine for what I'm doing. The one downside I will say in my opinion is that it is a very tall mount on these tripods. This actually will adjust here, and then, oh whoops, sorry, turning the wrong way here. It'll adjust there, and then the bottom one will also pull up. So you've actually got a ton of height before you even use the tripod legs. Personally, not my favorite. That is probably my only complaint about this, actually. Just, I would rather use the legs. I feel like it's more sturdy, and that puts the whole top of this tripod sits really high, whereas if it was just one adjustment, my head would sit a little lower. It'd fit in my backpack a little better, and I just feel like it does sit really high. So anyways, that is about the one downside I have about this tripod. Now on to things I love about this tripod. That is one removable leg. Oh, whoops, I actually just twisted the legs. They are twist lock legs, but that is two removable legs. They are twist lock, like I said, so you can pop them back on. These do have removable, it would help if I locked it all the way tight before I do it. It does have the removable rubber feet for actual big old spikes. Now, the thing that got me interested in these to begin with, and the thing I really like about them, is the two removable legs. On top of the fact that it's just a decent, affordable tripod that's really sturdy and treated me good so far for the last year or so. But these are really awesome for a couple reasons. One, these guys make a shooting stick adapter, so you can take just your tripod and then, glass all you want, do anything you want, and then take their shooting stick adapter, take your legs off, screw them in, and go in for your final approach with a rifle, take your shot. Then on top of that, they do make trekking pole handles for these, so you can actually use these as trekking poles. They're plenty tall enough for me for trekking poles. I, however, am not using the handles. Now, the handles are going to add some length, but you're also adding weight, packing in the actual handles for these. So I just pack them just like this. This does allow you to cut the weight of shooting bipods, shooting sticks, trekking poles out. Now, I have also used these, and I posted a video about this sometime around August while I was up archery hunting on the YouTube page. I was using these legs to pitch my Kafaru paratarp. Works really good. The only problem is, and I mentioned this in that video, if you leave these and leave your paratarp pitched and don't find a stick to get you by for the day, you're missing two legs to your tripod. The kind of the flip side of that, but just another side of that, is if you're a guy who wants to hike in with trekking poles, you know, I know Alaska sheep hunters, guys like that, they want to hike in with trekking poles. They're going to use them the entire time. I would not recommend that for this situation, because if by some chance you break these, and so far these have been super sturdy, I've used them as trekking poles more than I needed to just to test them out. Thing is I've scratched them up, I've scuffed them up. The one I actually had to kind of scrape. I put a decent enough gouge in there that it actually was kind of catching as it was sliding, so I had to buff it out a little. That is my biggest concern if you think you're going to cut a bunch of weight and not have to pack trekking poles. If you hike in with trekking poles, I think you're at risk of possibly damaging one of these, and then your tripod is screwed, unless you pack an extra, an actual extra one of these. I would use these more as if you don't hike with trekking poles going in or that often, but you use them on the pack out, that's exactly what these would be great for. That way you're not packing trekking poles the whole hunt. You can still pitch a trekking pole style shelter with these, and then, like I said, you can just hurry and pop them, expand them, and you can use that as a trekking pole to pack out. Like I said, this one is plenty tall for me. Granted, some guys out there, they're not going to be tall enough, and you're going to have to get the handles for that extra length. They also make, one of the trekking pole handles has like a built-in knife handle, which would, if you're in, I don't know, California, something funky, where, there's crazy weird people out there, and got some really crappy gun laws, you can have a knife for protection. But I didn't encourage that, nor do I endorse that. If that is illegal, I don't know, so we're going to just cover myself there. But like I said, I just want to show that off. These will hook right into a shooting stick, a little V attachment. Honestly, I should have grabbed it before I started on this video, but it's in my gun safe and I didn't think about that. So another thing from these guys, they actually make a quick release binocular adapter, and if you've seen The Outdoorsman, I would say it's pretty similar. And same thing, I should have grabbed it, but it's actually in my binocular case somewhere. Possibly in my truck. I don't remember. That's why I don't have it, because I can't remember where I left it last time I was using it. So, but with this pan head, their quick release will actually fit in here without a plate, which is another big bonus for me for using this head. Is now I've got one plate stays on my spotter, one plate stays on my camera that's an Arca Swiss plate that I can get to work with this. Granted, like I said, it's not perfect, but it works, gets you by, and I don't have to switch plates to mount to my capture clip, and my binocular quick connect piece hooks right in here, so I don't have to have an extra plate. It does have the hook. You can hang stuff off the bottom of this for extra weight. Like I said, there's your legs removed, and then this does have the ability to, these will go just about anywhere. Got multiple different locking points. So just wanted to show it off. I do really like this tripod. I've been using it for a little while now. Like I said, there is a code. If you decide to get anything off their website, they have smaller tripods, bigger tripods, carbon fiber tripods, and they actually have just released this year some newer pro models, and I have not really had a chance to, I believe they were called pro models. Anyways, I had a chance to mess with those as much. But another big thing, if you are into shooting rifles a lot, if you do any sort of competition shooting or anything like that, these guys do make a mount where you would pull this pan head off, and it has a mount directly for your gun. If you've been to the Hunt Expo, every time you've walked by and seen a gun on a tripod mount, it was probably a Field Optics tripod. They were all over at the Hunt Expo. I've seen them at some other shows as well. They seem to be awesome. I have not personally bought that piece for this. I just don't shoot guns that often, and I'm getting into it a little more again. I'm starting to do it some more, but I'm going to just pull these off and use the shooting stick adapter, the shooting V adapter, or even just shoot directly off of this or off my backpack. For me, I'm not running one because I haven't found a need to run one. However, I do kind of want one because they're cool. So anyways, just figured I'd break this down. I was planning on this video being a lot shorter than it's turning out to be, but oh well. Who knows, this video may turn out like crap and it may not get posted. But if it does, comment, like, check out Field Optics Research online. Don't forget to use the code if you buy anything from them. They've also got a bunch of other stuff, like the eye cup shields for your binoculars, and just like I said, just check out the website. There's more stuff there than I even have looked at myself. There's so much other things there. I just really like this tripod, and the versatility of this is what has won me over. I'm a big fan of things pulling double duty, triple duty, and this tripod does it for me. And like I said, it is very sturdy. It kicks the crap out of all the other budget tripods I've bought. And by the time I paid for the other multiple tripods, I covered the price of this. So anyways, check them out and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.